Welcome to Tom's English, Understanding Verbs in English. English has 8 parts of speech. Part of speech simply means how a word functions in a sentence. These parts are verb, noun, pronoun, preposition, adjective, adverb, conjunction, interjection. In English, the most important part of any sentence is the verb. All sentences must have a verb. Knowing how verbs function will greatly improve your English. What is a verb? A verb is one of the following: active, swim, write, climb; stative, be, exist, think. Active means you can see the action. John is walking to the store. They watched a movie. Mary visited Germany. Stative means you cannot see any action, but something is happening. You can picture these verbs as something that happens inside a person's head or a feeling. She knows the answer. Gary feels sick. I love ice cream. This is important because usually we cannot use stative verbs in the continuous. Verbs that are either active or stative in the continuous. Sometimes a stative verb can have an active meaning when used in the continuous. Stative meaning: do you have a car? Active: they are having dinner at the moment. Stative: you are my best friend. Active: she's being silly again. Stative: that soup smells good. Active: he is smelling the soup. Stative: this milk tastes sour. Active: I was just tasting the food. Stative: you look great. Active: he was looking out the window when I saw him. Stative: what do you see? Active: I'm seeing my dentist this afternoon. Verbs can either take an object or not take an object. Transitive: object. I read a newspaper. We saw a movie. Intransitive: he is smart. The guests have arrived. Infinitive or base verb. If you look in a dictionary for a verb, you will find the base verb. Examples: run, enjoy, walk. An infinitive is to plus the base verb. To run, to enjoy, to walk. The only time we use infinitives in a sentence is to make nouns or adjectives. I like to sing. I have too much work to do. Most of the time we use only the base verb. It is very common with modals. I will work tomorrow. He can speak English. They should help us. Never use an infinitive after a modal. Tense. Time is very important for English speakers when something happens. There are 12 active and 12 passive tenses in English. However, you can speak very good English with only 5 or 6 active tenses. Native speakers usually avoid complicated tenses. The passive is most commonly used in the present. Common active tenses. I go to work every day. I am going to work now. I went to work yesterday. I will go to work tomorrow. I have gone to work for 3 days. I was going to work when it started to rain. Passive. English is spoken here. Modal verbs. A modal verb expresses ability, necessity, or possibility. It goes before the base verb. She can sing. ability. He could go, possibility. They should study, necessity. I must learn, necessity. I may go to the cinema, possibility. We would buy it if we had money, possibility. Auxiliary verbs. These are important for understanding English. The most common are do, does, and did. We form questions and negatives with these auxiliary verbs. Do you speak English? No, I don't speak English. Did he help you? No, he didn't help me. The other common auxiliary verbs are have and had. We use these to form tenses. I have lived here since 1999. Present perfect. It has been snowing for 5 days. Present perfect continuous. She had lived in London before she lived in New York. Past perfect. Summary. This seems like a lot of information, but it is important to understand. Basic rules for English verbs. All sentences must have a verb. Tense, time, is important. Never use to after a modal verb. Use do, does, and did for questions. Know when a verb takes an object or does not. Use only the base verb. Watch for our next video. Tom's English, www.tomsenglish.org.